Hi there, this is Michael Fortin, and welcome to another episode of Ask Michel. And by the way, Michel is my name. It's just Michael is my nickname, so you can say Michael, but it's Ask Michel. I want to answer a question that many people have asked me about the length of copy. Is it short? Should it be short? Should it be long? And some people say, oh, long copy is boring and short copy is not enough. Now, I'm not going to dive into that question today because I believe that it deserves an episode entirely for that. What I'd like to go into is the way to answer that question very often depends on the stage of awareness of your market. Eugene Schwartz in the book Breakthrough Advertising talks about the levels of sophistication of the market. How sophisticated are they? I like to call it awareness because it depends on how aware they are about the problem, first of all, before they're even aware of the fact that a solution exists and, of course, your solution. This is very important for professionals, especially because we are in the business of diagnosing and prescribing, right? Whether you're a lawyer, doctor, so on and so forth, engineer. So what I do is I use acronyms to remind myself of something in the marketing space that I use it when I teach, but I also use it for myself when I'm writing copy or when I'm creating a marketing strategy for a client or doing online marketing. And the one I come to, or the one I created, it's called Oath. Oblivious, apathetic, thinking, and hurting. Call it like this. How prepared is your market to take an oath? Now, the way I look at it is, first of all, oblivious. The market is oblivious about the problem. They're not even aware that the problem exists. And very often your copy has to be long enough to educate them, or at least the marketing strategy, the stages of the marketing process, whether it's a funnel, whether it's a series of educational pieces, whether it's a nurturing process through a drip campaign, whether it's the sales copy and it's a long sales copy. If it's a video, it may be a little bit longer of a video. Maybe it's different videos. Maybe it's a demo. Well, actually a little bit less of a demo, but more about educating people about the fact that the problem does exist. Now, this is very true in many industries. Most industries they're not oblivious about the problem unless you are solving a brand new problem and you want to bring it to the top of people's minds. The second is called apathetic. So they know about the problem, they just don't care about doing anything about it. It's not important to them for whatever reason. It's not urgent. Now your goal in your sales message, in your marketing approach, in your sales strategy is to make them understand the importance of handling this problem, the urgency. Well, I wouldn't say so much the urgency. It is kind of, but it's more about the importance of solving the problem, that if not solved, it could become bad. Now, some people might look at FOMO, the fear of missing out. Some people might look at also the problems of not handling the problem now. There's an example here. One of my clients is in the data migration space, and they are teaching people that they need to migrate to new servers or to the cloud. And many clients don't know it. They know they have to do it, but they don't really care about it. So what the client devised is a process that surveys the client and gives them a rating of what's the risk factor. If they don't upgrade their servers, if they don't move their servers, they don't migrate their servers now, what are the potential risks? And then we list all the risks, right? So that's turning the apathetic to the next stage, which is thinking. So they're not oblivious. They know about the problem. They're not apathetic. They want to do something about it. But now they're thinking about it. They're looking around. They're shopping around. They're looking at different solutions for their problem. Sometimes it could be a solution that is direct or indirect, in the sense that it might be a solution that serves their needs specifically, or it might be an alternative that might soothe something else in order to make them feel better about handling the situation. Now, the goal in this case is to point out what makes you better, what makes you different, what makes you unique, what makes you not the the best choice, but the choice, the perfect choice, the one choice that people have to go ahead and solve this problem. And this is oftentimes done through making a professional, making them more of an expert, the specialization factor, making them feel like they are the go-to person. They're not a commodity. They're not a simple vendor offering an order taker, so to speak. And many professionals, unfortunately, are like that. But when you look at some of the professionals that are making the most amount of sales, money, or marketing market share, they are often the ones that are they position themselves very much as an expert in their fields. So that's about positioning, and that's where we can solve the issue of thinking. Or we do that in our marketing approaches, in our marketing communications, to educate clients that here are the reasons why this solution, this product, service, or this person, or this process is the best. And why the other ones don't even equate to that. They don't even amount to that. And then finally, there's the H, hurting. And that's probably the market everybody wants to, every client wants every service provider wants their clients to be in, right? It's the easiest one. I remember when I wrote the sales copy for Traffic Secrets, John Rees. That was the very famous $1 Million Day back in 2004. A lot of people said that was a long cut. That was a lot of copy. That was 75 pages when you printed it. But a lot of people said that John did such a masterful job in creating anticipation and the marketing, the pre-qualification process, and the educational process in a drip campaign prior to the launch, that when the launch happened, a lot of people say they were just looking for the buy now button. They'll just buy it, right? So, and of course, not all of our markets are hurting. It is the lowest hanging fruit, and if it so happens that your market happens to be in the hurting phase, great. But many markets are not, and that's probably where maybe the educational process, the marketing process needs to bring that to the top of their minds. Some people are hurting, but they're not aware that they're hurting, right? So you kind of have to make them understand why, and sometimes make it more real, more concrete, more in their face. It's not about making the problem bigger, exaggerating, and lying. That's not what I mean at all. You can talk about the problem, but talking about, like I said earlier, the risks of not doing something about it, but also the pain that they're suffering right now, and making them feel like there is a connection there. Oftentimes when I do a marketing campaign, I talk about a similar situation, a problem that a person is going through, so that when the client sees, the prospect sees it, they relate to it. They understand, I'm feeling this way, I am hurting too. And very often, and you have to be very careful, because when people are hurting, it's so easy to get them to buy. We can often jump over all the other markets, and we have to be careful for that. There's a lot of markets out there that are not necessarily hurting, or they are, but they're not aware of it. And if we cater too much to that one market, we ignore the other ones, and we ignore the more of the top of the funnel, so to speak. So oath, oblivious, apathetic, thinking, and hurting. So at what stage of awareness is your market at? When you create your perfect prospect profile, your client avatar, your buyer persona, you want to identify at what stage they are at. And this will kind of be like a domino effect. It'll determine everything from your marketing strategy to your copy to your the amount of the amount of time that the ad needs to appear and reappear, like for example retargeting on PPC campaigns, because that will take them more to that H, right, or to the level where they're able to take advantage of the offer or the solution that you're proposing. And if, of course, your market is oblivious, and either you have, like I said, a multi-step campaign, a long sales cycle, maybe you'll need to educate them through a series of videos, testimonials, case studies. Maybe you need to educate them on their problem and make them more aware, bring it up to the top of their minds, so that then they can start to be interested in, maybe I should do something about it. Maybe this is something I should look into. And then the rest follows after that. Hopefully this helps. So it's called the Oath Formula. And if you have any questions like this for me, just hashtag Ask Michel on any of the socials. I'm sure I'll find it. And if you do ask a question, I'll put it in the queue, and hopefully I'll answer it on a video like this. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love it. If you're watching this video on my blog, please join my notification list, and you'll be notified when I post new articles on the blog. Thank you so much.